Sage Han
Hey,
um,
you wanna go now?
yeah, I can go. Sage Hanson, a senior at TGU High School. I'm committed to UND for basketball, and I'm majoring in economics there.
Are you ready for the questions?
Yep.
What is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport, it changed a lot. I really liked baseball growing up as a kid, but as I got older, it obviously switched to basketball as I kind of grew a lot more. And I just kind of fell out of love with baseball and really dove into basketball.
What height are you? 6'7" or
I'm 6'9", but yeah,
oh,
we could say 6'7".
the height helps, right?
Oh yeah, a lot.
I wish I would have had the height. Um, who is your favorite athlete?
My favorite athlete probably currently has to be Anthony Edwards. He's a freak athlete and he can shoot the ball as well as anyone. So I just really like watching him play. He's just a super explosive player, can get to the rim when he wants to, and just an amazing scorer of the basketball. He's awesome. Obviously, I don't agree with some of the off the court stuff he does, but just a great basketball player on the court.
What is your main position you play in basketball? And what positions did you play in the other sports? Did you play football and baseball? What did you play in them?
I did play football and baseball. In football, I was a wide receiver and defensive back for the 1 year that I played. And then in baseball, I was shortstop and pitcher for most of my career. And then I also played a little bit of right field towards more notice, more recently played. And then for basketball, I kind of play any position, three through the five, kind of whatever is needed there. I will be kind of like a point guard for a high school team this year, kind of like a hybrid. So kind of just play whatever.
What are your favorite pro and college football and sports teams? Pro and college teams.
My favorite college basketball teams is obviously like UND, of course, and then outside of that, I really like watching like Duke basketball. They always have a super fun team to watch, and then I like to follow some of like my teammates that I played with when I was at Wasatch. So I like watching Houston as well. And then for football, my one of my favorite teams is probably Oregon football. They're always good, and their jerseys are really, really nice. And of course, it helps with the Nike stuff they kind of get. But yeah,
And pro sports?
and for pro sports, it has to be Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota Twins, and Minnesota Timberwolves and Minnesota Wild. I'm just a big Minnesota sports fan. My dad grew up a not really Timberwolves fan since they were kind of bad, but he was a Vikings fan and a Twins fan growing up. So I kind of just followed him.
Even though they struggle a lot, right?
Yeah, they're nowhere near as good as your Warriors, unfortunately.
Well, they beat them last year though, so
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but Stephen Curry was hurt.
not sure that can happen again. But they're pretty good right now. The Wolves are, right?
Yeah, they're all right. They've started off a little rough this season, but they've won three in a row. So yeah, they look a lot better now. But I still think that the Warriors are a better team. They're just too well coached.
Yeah. But the Curry was out, I think, a few games too.
Yeah, he has been out with an illness, but they still. I'm not sure if they won that game. I think they played at least better close. But yeah,
Tonight, I think they play the Thunder, and they're
oh,
really good.
that'll be a good game. Yeah.
Thunder are what, the defending champs?
Yep, they are, and they're off to a super hot start this year too.
They got a good house. This question you might have answered kind of, but what are your goals after high school? I mean, you're going to play basketball at UND, right?
Yep.
And what are you academically going to do or study?
I, Academically, I'm going to go into economics. Just kind of as an undergrad, just to kind of iron out something for just to have, for when I'm out of college eventually. And then after that, I want to go back into college at some point and study law and eventually pass the bar and become a lawyer. So that's kind of my plans for that outside of basketball and outside of my undergrad.
Did you like for UND, did you like the program there or
Yeah, I did like the program. I really liked the coaches. Coaches were super nice when I was there, and their practices looked very intense, and they kind of it seemed well structured. And I just really liked overall, like the facilities were super nice. Everywhere they kind of showed me was nice. Campus was pretty nice for North Dakota, of course. It's kind of just cold all year, but I still feel like that'd be a campus I'd like to be on, even with it being like one of the coldest places, and I think it's like the continental United States, but that's all right. It's a very nice campus, very nice facilities, very nice program overall.
they usually recruit quite a few North Dakota guys there, don't they?
Yeah, they did. They also recruited my teammate from ND Phenom, Carter Evanson. So yeah, they like to recruit around the area. I think they have a couple guys on the roster right now from North Dakota. I think three or four actually.
Because the Eagle staff played there too, right? I think.
Yeah, he did before he transferred to West Virginia.
How close is the hockey arena to the but
To
I
the
don't know what arena they play in up there. Is it the Betty or which one?
Yeah, they play in the Betty, yeah, and it's pretty much right by the Ralph. It's yeah. Have you been in their hockey stadium before?
Or what?
Have you been in their hockey stadium before?
No.
No, no, it's really nice. It's a huge,
You
huge
went
arena.
you went to a hockey game there?
No, I haven't been to a
Or
hockey game, but they kind of they like to show their recruits the hockey arena because I mean it's pretty awesome. It's one of the best programs for hockey in the U.S. So
or is the Alara, what's the football field? Is that the Alaris or what's it called now?
yep, that's the Alaris.
Are they
Yep, the
near each other?
Kind of, yeah. They're in the same area on campus.
I've never been there. I should nice to go. What advice would you give to younger kids that want to play sports?
I mean, to any kid that wants to play sports, I mean, just go out there and have fun. It's really sports are just kind of a thing to do for fun. Of course, you always want to win, but at the end of the day, it's just there for you to go out and do something with your friends and just have a blast. I mean, I go play with my friends anywhere. We don't have to play like super competitively, even though I intend to make it competitive. It's just something that you can just do for fun. It's a hobby that you kind of take with you through life and you kind of make friends along the way. So that's really all I got to say about playing sports. You don't have to take it as serious as I do to make it fun.
What workouts do you do during the off season?
During the off season, I like to do a few workouts. So I'll go to Minot, which is where I work out with my trainer, Steve Aguilar, and he puts me through weight training. And then sometimes he'll have like a basketball training session. So he'll like teach me some new moves or fix my shot or just kind of some little tweaks and stuff. Then outside of that, after that, I'll usually go home and I'll put up some shots on the shoot away at my school at the gym. And then after that, I'll usually come home and then I'll kind of just go back and forth between the gym and my house just whenever I feel bored.
What do you like most about playing sports?
I kind of just it's just I'm like I like to like play competitive. I like to be competitive. I like having something that I can do that I know that I'm pretty good at and that I can play at a high level. It's just kind of fun to be out there and to kind of prove like how good you are to like other people and just kind of show I don't know. It's just a way for me to show who I am by just playing sports. So that's why I really love playing basketball is because it's I know that I'm pretty good at it and that I can get a lot better and that at the end of the day I just something I love playing. It's something I love being able to tell people.
What do you think your team's biggest strengths and weaknesses will be?
For a high school team,
Yeah.
I think our biggest strength will be our shooting. We have a lot of young kids, and they actually are pretty good shooters all around. But with that youngness comes some inexperience and some weakness. So our biggest weakness is just how young our team is this year. We've got a lot of learning to do, and they're just not as strong as and physically developed as these other kids we're going to be playing are. So that'll be our biggest weakness and just our biggest kind of thing to get through. So we're going to have to play fast because we had a lot of just fast, energetic young guys, but they just don't have the strength yet or the experience. So I think we'll be better as the season goes along, but I think those are our biggest strengths and weaknesses overall.
Does your high school team have a lot of younger players?
Yeah, we got a lot of freshmen. We got some eighth graders playing. So we have me and one other senior, and then we have two juniors, and then the rest are pretty much freshmen.
So you played basketball where before it was,
So I played at TGU for through my eighth through sophomore year. And then during the summer, I got offered a chance to play at Wasatch Academy on scholarship. So I went to Wasatch Academy, which is a prep school for basketball, and I went there from the first semester. And while I was there, I played in a few games. And then when I went home for Christmas break, my dad ended up telling me that he had an aneurysm in his heart. So I decided to stay back. And then I tried to go and play back at TGU, but due to hardship and eligibility rules for transferring, I was unable to play. So that is kind of where I was last year as my junior year.
what is your pre-game ritual before every game?
Every game, I kind of get like the same stuff before games. I usually get some sort of candy. I'll usually get Skittles, and then I'll get like I don't know, like a bubbler, if you know what that is. And I'll kind of just those are like my go-to pregame snacks. And I have to have those before every game. And then I go in the locker room and before every game, I'll just put on music right before the game. And I guess that's really my only pregame ritual. Other than that, it's just kind of like routine. I just kind of get pumped for the game. But those are the only things that I keep consistent.
What is your favorite shot to shoot in basketball? Do you like? I've seen you dunk quite a bit. What's your
I think my favorite shot in basketball is a poster dunk. I think it's just really fun to kind of hammer it down on someone every now and then. It's just like one of the most hype plays in basketball. It used to be a three pointer, but as I got older, as I got a little more stronger, and as I was able to attack a basket a lot more, I think it's definitely become a poster dunk.
what's your team goals or expectations for this basketball season?
Our team goals, we kind of decided, came together as a team, and we decided that we want to make state this year. Obviously, the hoopster that they don't agree with us that we can even make it out of our district. So that our main goal first is just kind of proving that we can make it out of our districts, and then proving that we can make it out our regionals, and then try to make something happen in state. But yeah, overall, our goal is to make it to state.
That's like one of the toughest regions, probably, huh?
Oh yeah, lots of good teams. Our Redeemers, Ray, Bishop Bryan, MLS, Velva, even. Yeah, lots of good teams.
Here's an interesting one. What side of the basketball do you think is more important, the offense or the defense?
I think the defensive side's more important because you can be gifted offensively, but even if you can have someone that can lock down an offensive minded scorer, and let's say you hold that person from 30 all the way down to 10 points, that's a 20-point difference. Whereas like if you're an offensive machine and you go out there and score 40, but you go up and you give up 30 or 20 to your matchup just because you're not gifted offensively, I think that's just something you can't keep consistency because you can always be defensively consistent by just playing hard, but being as consistent on offense is way harder to do. And it just kind of that's like being risky at that point by just trying to play on your offense. So I think the defensive side of the ball is very important.
You guys return quite a few, I mean, players that have played a lot of varsity minutes, or is it?
Unfortunately, no. Our entire starting lineup from last year graduated. And then off the bench, we only have, I think, three players that played real minutes for us last year. So it's going to be a kind of new team. And that's kind of why people don't really know what to rank us because they haven't seen a lot of how we played, especially with me being out and litigated to only playing JV. So it's going to be different. And we don't have that same varsity experience. But yeah.
So you played JV last year?
Yep. Yep. Due to the transfer rules. So I played a few games of JV just so I could play.
How did that go?
It's about how you expected a varsity player playing on JV would be. There were some games where I'd get yelled at from parents for going too hard on the kids, like on the other team or whatever. And so I would get heckled a lot just for kind of playing. But yeah, it was just something I had to do because I mean, I just wanted to play at the end of the day.
So then the guys that are on your roster that are going to be varsity, they played JV then with you then?
Yep, yep. So we kind of all played together already because they all played on JV with me. So
How good were you guys in the JV then?
we went undefeated. We won every game we played, that I played anyway. Outside of when I wasn't playing, I think they won a couple games. So they're pretty good on their own too. But yeah, when I was out there, we didn't lose a game. So
If the game is tied in the fourth quarter, who on your team would you want to take the final shot?
I outside of myself, I feel like next up would have to be my friend Brody Magnuson. He's he's been in the gym with me wherever I go. So I feel like since he kind of puts that work in and he takes those shots and he can hit those shots, I would trust him to take the game winning shot after myself.
So, but in your region, I mean, you kind of said who you'd or who the top teams are, which are pretty straightforward because a lot of them are pretty good. But you want to give us some predictions, kind of?
I think the best team, without a doubt, is our Redeemers. I mean, by the way, with their team, how their team is coached, they have a great coach, and with all the talent they have on that team, they shouldn't lose a game in Class B. They're just so well rounded as a team. They got a lot of people that can score the ball, a lot of people that play at a high level. Second, I think will end up being Ray. They have a bunch of good young players, and they're very talented. They've all gotten a lot better over the summer, so I believe that they'd probably be second. Third, I could see it being maybe like now I'm not sure. I think is Central McLean in our no, they're not. They're in our region. No, they're not. Never mind. I think it'd be Ray, our Deemers, us, and MLS. That would be the top four. I think that we could just beat out Bishop Bryan.
Bishop Bryan's a little younger, right? I think, right? They
Um,
graduated Ramsey Walls and
Yeah, they got a couple seniors on their team.
And MLS is good too, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They got like a stud and Eli on their team, and then they've got some guys around them that can score the ball.
And the other district is like Ray, the team you think's the best out of that one.
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
know much of,
Yeah, Ray's really good. They got a lot of good young players. They got Ty Barman, they got Jace Becker, they got Blake Bergstrom. They're pretty good.
they got a very good young team.
Yeah.
What major highlights have you had in sports, either basketball or any of the sports that you've played?
I haven't had like any like big moments. Obviously, I haven't played in the state tournament yet. That's what I want to do, but I would say some highlights have been I've hit some game-winning shots and some game-tying shots at the buzzer. Like for districts to get into regionals, it was like regional play-in. I had like a step back three-pointer to tie to go into overtime. We eventually won that game, so that's probably up there. And I've hit a couple of game winners and travel ball as well. So I think those would have to be my best moments. Oh, and also I guess I throwing a no hitter in baseball, but that was kind of when I was younger. So I don't know if I'd still consider that, but I think it's just a fun thing.
Do you like, I don't know if you've know, this is probably a hard question to ask, but you can put some insight in on the three class system. Do you like the three classes? Is it
I do
competitive
like
wise?
I do like the three class system. I think it makes it a lot more fair overall. Because I mean, if we had Kindred or like Devil's Lake still as like in our class B, I don't think any of us could compete really. I mean, there's very select teams that are that good because Kindred is just a powerhouse. Devil's Lake is just a powerhouse. And I like how they have that middle place for them, teams like that, where it's like Beulah, Devil's Lake, teams like that. So I think the three class system helps a lot, especially for us smaller class B schools. And I think overall it's great. I wish they would do some stuff with like the appeals and stuff because some teams can or some schools can set their caps to where they can only let in certain like students and everything. But at the end of the day, I don't think it affects that much. But overall, the three class system is I feel like it's a great addition.
Kind of like the private schools, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or some, because some privates are in the A division, and there's a few that aren't, like the ones in Minot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to think, kind of like to do predictions of different teams. I haven't did the B one because it's I think they have where you pick so many teams, like 12 or whatever, that you think are going to be good.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't did the B one. So I mean your region's pretty good, but I was trying to think of what's in the other ones.
Yeah. There's some other good teams. Like I know Central McLean's pretty good. They've got a kid in Aiden Hanson over there. It's pretty good. I know Washburn, they're going to be decent. They got a kid named Parker Jacobson. He's pretty good.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I really don't know much about like the Wilton side or like any of those other teams. As you kind of said, I only know like this district really and this region.
what do you think of the state qualifier games that they have? You like that idea with the state qualifiers?
Yeah, I do. I think it's just a lot more fun than having like the one where if you win regionals, then you get to just go to state. I like having the state qualifying games too. I think it's kind of cool that you can cross over regions to go and play the second or third place team in the other region. So I think that's a good way to kind of round out the teams for state.
Because you want to have like the eight best or the best teams there. Because sometimes you don't
Yeah,
always.
sometimes yeah. Yeah, you'll have like a team that's like from second place from like another region that doesn't really deserve it. So I kind of like the idea of crossing between the regions.
Mm, that's the last. What hobbies or interests do you have outside of sports?
Outside of sports, I really like to listen to music. So I mean, my mom jokes about me buying a bunch of like headphones and stuff. In whatever way I can listen to music, I just love to listen to music just wherever I'm at. It's just like, it's always there for me. I play it when I'm playing sports. I play it when I'm doing homework, play it whenever, just like hanging out at home or whatever. So I really like listen to music. And then also like playing video games too. And I also like the last thing I like to do is I like electronics overall. So I could kind of research like different types of like electronics or stuff upcoming. That's my main three outside of basketball, I would say.
Okay, ready for some predictions?
Yep, I'm ready
Got any predictions for the Dakota Bowl?
for the Dakota Bowl.
Got
Could
any
you
high
what's the Dakota Bowl again? Is that the
football?
yeah, but what is that like 11A like all? Are you just asking me like all predictions?
Yeah, all the divisions. Yeah.
All the divisions. All right. So I'll start nine man because that's like the because our school plays nine man. I think that New Rockford Cheyenne will definitely win. I mean, they've killed everyone on their schedule. So like New Rockford will win nine man. And then 11A, I really like Botno for that. And then for 11 man, 2A, I think it is, isn't it? It's Devil's Lake and who else?
Why not North?
Mine North. Yeah, Mine North will win 100%. They should almost be in that 3A section. But yeah, I think mine and North win. And then for 3A, who's in the finals for 3A?
Entry and Fargo Davies.
Century and Fargo Davies. I think I'm gonna give that to the Davies. I don't know much about that like type of football, about 3A football, but I've heard a lot of stuff about them. And I think that they should take down Century.
I think I'll give you my prediction too.
All
Here.
right.
I think New Rockford's probably gonna win. And then the A, I kind of think Botno has a chance because they only had one loss to I think it was Velva. So I think Botno has a chance, but I'm not sure. Langdon. And then 2A, I haven't seen a bunch of the 2A, so have you seen mine at North? Are they pretty good?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I've seen them play, and then I've also seen like, but I don't know. I feel like that Kindred upset kind of makes me lean a little bit to Devil's Lake because I mean, that's
Yeah.
Kindred's a really good team, but I feel like Mina North has consistently been good, and I think that they're gonna pull out with the win.
Yeah, I think Fargo Davies too. I don't because Century I think was down last week and came back, and I think Davies is really good. So,
Yeah, I think so too.
got any predictions with the Vikings?
I don't I don't know how the rest of the season is gonna go with them. I mean, it kind of depends on how McCarthy progresses. He had some errant throws last game, but I mean they weren't completely his fault either. He's kind of inconsistent right now. So I guess we'll see as the rest of the season goes on. How do you feel about the Vikings?
I don't know. They're kind of younger though, too. Him playing, you gotta give him a little time to progress, I think,
Yeah,
because
I think a lot of
he
yeah,
was
I think
injured last year and missed the whole season. So gotta give him a little time, I think.
yeah, I agree. I think that Vikings fans are kind of tend to be too harsh on like him or like Carson Wentz whenever they had a bad game. I think we just got to give them time and realize like we're probably not going to compete for a Super Bowl right now either. So I think we should just let him develop, let him learn. And eventually, I think he could be a good quarterback because he makes some amazing throws sometimes, but he's just a little off on his reads right now.
Yeah. What do you think of the coaches? You like them? I like KOC and that's the staff they have.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's a great coach, and Brian Flores is he should be a head coach somewhere else. He's a really, really good defensive coordinator. So I don't know how long they can keep this staff together, but yeah, I think they've got a really good coaching staff on their hands. So they definitely have the potential to be good, but they just kind of need that final piece, that quarterback to kind of solidify, and then to like touch up some stuff on like the edges on just some minor positions and stuff.
Or is it, he was a coach though in I think Miami, but he had a lawsuit or something I read. I think it was.
Yeah, with Tua Tagovailoa.
And
And
Miami's not very good anyway.
no, and that coach there might get fired too.
Now, there was already one coach that did get fired.
Yeah, Brian Dable.
Got any questions you want to ask?
I had one earlier, but I forgot it right now. So, if you have any more questions, while I try to think. Oh, I figured out what kind of got you into following all the high school sports around the area.
I've kind of always liked watching sports. I never really played, but I just like watching sports in general, kind of. So that's kind of why.
Yeah, what got you into wanting to start like a podcast like this where you can interview people?
I just thought so they get to know me since you can't always make every location. I thought it'd be a good idea, kind of to.
Yeah, what's your goal with this podcast? Like throughout, like just the end goal with this podcast. What do you want it to become?
I don't really know.
Yeah, you're just kind of doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. It seems it's fun to just kind of go on and talk sports. I mean, I love to just talk sports with whoever.